Hi everybody, Larry Graves here. Now, I'm not even sure what I'm going to title this video, because what I want to ask you about is, have you ever had things happen in your life that are kind of hard to explain, or they're coincidences, or I don't know, just things out of the ordinary that have happened in your life? And I've talked to a lot of people where things have happened to them. It could be people that have passed away coming back to see them as a spirit, even, of course in dreams, but it being so real. Angels, and I've never experienced, like an angel or anything, but I'm open to anything. If somebody experiences something, I believe what they're telling me. I say that a lot. Yeah, there might be some things that people have told me, and it's like, whoa, that's kind of weird. But I don't, I don't turn around and roll my eyes or anything. I respect that they experienced it. I've had women. I've had this one woman tell me that she shouldn't even be alive, and the experience she had was with something to do with angels, and she had tears in her eyes and all that, and it's like she couldn't even tell me, and so I didn't push it at all. But I don't mock people like that, because life can be weird sometimes. And I just want to tell you, I've had so many experiences in my life, and I'll just tell 2 or 300. One that really stands out is, and this still happens to me once in a blue moon when I'm laying in bed and I'm not asleep and I'm not dreaming. I'll have my eyes closed and I can see things like figures, and it's really hard to explain, but it's almost like people moving. It's kind of weird. And I haven't been drinking when I've been having these experiences. But anyway, in 2010, in February of 2010, I was laying in bed. I wasn't asleep, and I had this vision of this door, and the door opened, and there was this white light, and then I see these kind of figures standing in the white light, and I'm saying to myself, I don't want to go yet. And so in the morning, I told my wife at the time about it, and we just laughed it off. And then later that day, we had to drive to, it was about an hour drive to a place to pick up her daughter. And it was just snowing, lightly snowing. She drove there and I drove back. And on the way back on Highway 401, and just before this happened, maybe 30 seconds before this happened, and I'm driving, and it was just, like I said, lightly snowing. For whatever reason, in my mind, I said, please protect us. And then I hit some black ice for the first time in my life, and the car kind of went like that. And it veered off the road and hit a road sign. It was a very loud bang. And then the car flipped. I don't know, it flipped once or twice, and the car landed right side up in a ditch which was maybe 10 feet down on the side of the 401. And all three, me, my wife at the time, and her daughter, we were totally fine, although the car was a write-off. And So I guess that was a point in my life where I had the choice to leave, because soon after that, of course, the marriage breakup and a lot of depressing stuff happened to me. Just two more quick kind of strange things that have happened in my life. My first wife, Nancy, passed away when she was 40. And she and I were huge, well, I still am, huge fans of the Canadian band, the Northern Pikes. And we had all of their CDs. And after she passed away, a few months after she passed away, I was at work one day and I thought, you know, not that it was a bad memory, but it was just, I'm going to get rid of those Northern Pikes CDs. You know, I got to move on with my life, or whatever I was thinking at the time. And I rarely listened to the radio. But that day after work, for whatever reason, I had the radio on driving home, and it was only a 10-minute drive home. And a Northern Pike song came on the radio, which is, you know, not really that much of a coincidence. And then after that song was done, another Northern Pike song came on the radio. And not very often they played two songs in a row by the same artist. And so I kept my Northern Pikes CDs. And I'll end this on a more kind of a lighthearted story. One day, when I was married, for whatever reason, I was sitting in a lazy boy chair, and I was thinking, gee, my wife, she doesn't have a baby doll negligee. It would be nice if she had a baby doll negligee. I don't know why I was thinking that. And I would say within 2-3 hours, when I was back sitting in that chair, I look up and is holding a baby doll negligee and saying that her daughter, I guess it didn't fit her or whatever, and her daughter had given it to her. And I had not mentioned the baby doll negligee at all. So there's just some weird stuff that goes on in life. Some weird baby doll negligee stuff. So that's 3 of my stories, but there's a lot more that has happened to me in my life. Some of it kind of private. But I'd love your thoughts on things that have happened in your life. I would love to hear your stories, if you have any. If you don't have any stories, just say, I don't have any stories. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.